What is going on, Rovers? We are less than a week away from Wuthering Waves version 3.1 dropping, and let's be real, the hype is real, but so is the anxiety. With a stacked lineup of banners coming our way, the big question on everyone's mind is, who is actually worth your precious Astrites? Today, we are doing a deep dive into the pull value for every single character in this patch to make sure you don't regret your choices. We're looking at the Phase 1 trio Chisa, Aemeath, and Lupa, and then breaking down the Phase 2 lineup with Luke and Galbrena. By the end of this, you'll know exactly who fits the current meta and who you might want to leave on the bench. If you appreciate the guides and want to stay ahead of the curve on everything Wuthering Waves, smash that like button and hit subscribe. But enough preamble, let's jump into the analysis. Let's kick things off with the headliner, the character I know most of you are saving for, Aemeath. She's hitting the roster as a main DPS wielding a broadblade with the fusion element, but what makes her special is her dual mode playstyle. She's honestly shaping up to be one of the most flexible units we've seen. Depending on how you build her, she can slot into two completely distinct archetypes, Fusion Burst teams or Toon Rupture teams. If you go the Fusion Burst route, she loves negative status setups. If you go Toon Rupture, she thrives with teammates who can amplify those Rupture effects, which, honestly, includes most of the new 3 roster. However, that power comes with a catch. She is very team-dependent. Her value skyrockets if you already own premium characters like Len for that Toon Rupture synergy, or Chisa for Fusion Burst. She isn't exactly a plug-and-play unit for a brand new account, because she really craves that second premium 5-star to unlock her max potential. That said, her pull value is still incredibly high. Because she can flex between these two team styles, she's much more future-proof than your average DPS. Plus, let's be honest, she's likely going to be the hardest-hitting unit in the game on launch. You really can't go wrong picking her up. Now, running alongside Aemeath, we have Chisa. Logically, you'd think, oh, she's the main partner for Aemeath's Fusion Burst team, I should grab her. But I have to be the bearer of bad news here. Her pull value right now is actually pretty low. Chisa is a Havoc element negative status support, but she's in a weird spot. She struggles to justify her slot outside of very specific setups. The problem is role overlap. Without her signature weapon, she's often getting outperformed by free or standard banner options. Even with Aemeath releasing, Chisa feels like she's in a waiting room. The key partners she needs to fully complete her Fusion Burst team just aren't out yet. So, unless you are 100% committed to building that specific niche team for the long haul, she's a skip. She's just a bit too niche and underwhelming in the current 3.1 meta. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, let's talk about the last character in Phase 1, Lupa. If you care about meta, listen up. Lupa has very high pull value. She's a Fusion Broadblade user, acting as a support, sub-DPS, and she is hands down one of the strongest fusion enablers in the game. We're talking massive fusion damage buffs, attack buffs, and fusion resistance shred. She slots into basically every fusion team core and likely will for a long time. Interestingly, she actually pairs better with Aemeath than Chisa does. So, if you're missing other premium units, an Aemeath Lupa core is incredibly solid. The verdict? If you play fusion teams at all, you pull Lupa. Support units always age better than DPS units, making her the safest, long-term investment in this entire update. Moving on to the second phase, we have our new Spectro main DPS, Luke. Luke is a gauntlet user focused entirely on basic attacks and non-stop air combos. He is super fun and straightforward. His biggest advantage over someone like Aemeath is accessibility. He is way easier to build and play. Plus, his echoes are readily available right now, so you can pre-farm easily. The downside? The Spectro DPS slot is getting crowded, and Luke doesn't have a dedicated premium support yet to push him into that top-tier bracket. However, he has amazing synergy with Sanhua, who provides exactly the basic attack buffs he needs. So, if you're a newer player lacking a strong Spectro carry, he's a solid, medium-value pickup. But for veterans with established rosters, he's probably a low priority since he's just another DPS who will likely get power crept eventually. Finally, closing out the patch, we have the rerun for Galbrena. She's a Fusion Pistols user from back in version 2.7. Honestly, her value is almost entirely dependent on whether you missed the boat on Fusion DPS earlier. The issue is, she is competing directly against Aemeath, who is just a powerhouse. Galbrena isn't as flexible and doesn't offer as much value as the newer units. If you already have a Fusion core, or you're pulling Aemeath, Galbrena is incredibly hard to justify. She is easily the most skippable character in this video. Only pull if you really need a Fusion DPS and somehow skipped Aemeath, or if you just love her design. So to summarize the pull priority for Wuthering Waves 3.1. Number 1 is Lupa. She's a top-tier support that will define the Fusion meta for a long time. Number 2 is Aemeath, a high-ceiling, future-proof DPS, provided you can build the team around her. Luke sits in the middle as a situational pick for Spectro coverage. And unfortunately, Chisa and Galbrena are looking like skips for most accounts right now, due to low value or being overshadowed. But hey, at the end of the day, waifu over meta. If you love a character's design or playstyle, go for it. This is just a value breakdown to help you manage those resources. Let me know in the comments who you are aiming for in 3.1. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Buy 6,480 Lunites with 3.0 limited pack for only $82 at lootbar.gg. Returning users get an extra 5% off coupon. Link in the description.